We are now ready to start building the UI for our email signing form. So what we are going to do is to build this email form that you see in my completed app over here. And after this is done, we will start adding functionality so that we can use the form to sign in or register an account. Okay, so let's get started. And the first thing that we're going to do is to add a column to our build method so that we can lay out these widgets as needed. So this is going to be a column, and this is going to take a children array. Now, rather than creating the children on the fly over here, I'm going to create a separate method which will return a list of type widget, and this is going to be called build children. And for now, this method can just return an empty list. And then I want to make sure that this method is passed as the parameter of my children argument in my column over here. Okay, so we can now start adding children to this empty list. And the first one is going to be our email field. And the email field is an input where the user can enter some text. For this, we use a new widget which is called a text field. And we will spend quite a bit of time talking about text field, but for now, let's just focus on the basics. So text field takes an argument which is called decoration. And in here we can type in input decoration. And here we can add two properties, a label text, where we could say, for example, email, and then a hint text, where we could say test@test.com. So now that I have this, I want to show you how it looks like. So we can run our application. So it's just starting up now. And from here, we can navigate to our email signing page. And we can see that now we have an email field. And if I tap on it, it reveals a placeholder, which is test@test.com. So I can use the label text and hint text properties to describe what the input field is for. Before I continue, I want to take care of the padding on this page so that the email field does not stretch to the edges of our card. So to do that, we can go here and wrap our column with a padding. And here I'm going to set a value of 16 points, like this. The other thing that I want to change is the height of this card. So I don't want this card to extend all the way to the bottom of the screen. So I want to fix that. And the way I can do that is to add a main axis size argument to my column, and I'm going to pass in main axis size dot min, just like this. Now, it is the first time that we encounter main axis size, so let me briefly explain what it does. Main axis size specifies how much space should be occupied on the main axis. It has two possible values, which are main axis size dot min and dot max, and it defaults to max. But in this case, we want our column to only take as much space as is needed to fit the contents of our form. So to ensure that our card doesn't extend all the way to the bottom of the screen, we can use main axis size dot min. Okay, so let's carry on and let's add a password field. So to do that, we're going to use a text field once again, and then in the decoration parameter, we pass an input decoration like this. And for the label text, we are going to say just password. And in this case, we are not going to add a hint text. So I can now hot reload, and I can see that the password field appears. So here I could tap in and start typing a password like this. However, I can see that the contents are visible, and what we want to do instead is to make sure that as we type in, the password is not visible. So to do that, we can use a property of text field, which is called obscure text, and we can set that to true. And now if we hot reload, we can see that the contents of the password are now hidden away. By the way, before we continue, I want to show you one little detail about how to show or hide the physical keyboard on the screen. So at the moment I'm running on the iOS simulator and I've chosen to hide the keyboard. But if you want to show it, you just need to head to this hardware tab, and here you can just select keyboard and then toggle software keyboard like this. And this will show the keyboard. And if you want, you can also show or hide the keyboard by pressing Command K like this. So let's continue on the next video.